Just after 8 o'clock this evening, crews responded to reports of a truck fire out here on the Monaro Highway. On arrival, the truck was fully involved, the cabin area. The driver had luckily self-extricated, but crews were faced with the difficult task of trying to minimise the damage and keep it contained to the cabin. As you can see from the damage, it is quite extensive to the truck, but we were able to save the load. Initial thoughts were that it could have been a fuel tanker, but fortunately it was a concrete truck just carrying dry concrete powder. So with the initial reports of it possibly being a fuel tanker, 3 crews were responded, along with AFP and ACTAS. There was also concern of the proximity to the nearby service station. However, on arrival, the driver had the good sense to pull off into a slip lane, which made our job a lot easier. We did have to initially close the southbound Monaro Highway here for a couple of hours, but just recently we've been able to reopen it. Reports were that it could be a fuel tanker, that it was under power lines and it was close to the service station. So with those 3 factors involved, the response was certainly swift, but certainly appropriate. We were able to scale down once we arrived and got a handle on the situation. Yeah, the fire was contained fairly quickly by the arriving crews, initially achieved with the knockdown just with water. Then we've got our specialist foam units on site, and we've been able to do a full extinguishment with that apparatus. Yeah, so if you do look at the damage to the truck behind us, it is very extensive, and the driver's been very fortunate, but his quick thinking to pull over and get out of the cabin, leave everything behind, has certainly assisted him in staying safe tonight. And our crews did what they had to do, and were able to contain the fire to the cabin area, which was good. So we have spoken to the driver. He just had a warning light come on. By the time he pulled over, got out of the cabin, fire was taking hold in the engine compartment, and by the time our crews got here, only about 4 or 5 minutes later, the cabin was fully involved. So he didn't have much time to react, but what he's done was the correct actions under the circumstances. Yeah, no, look, when we arrived, people had started to establish an exclusion zone around the area, which was a great idea. So the bystanders didn't get involved, and certainly with something like this, when there's no lives at risk, it is best just to stand back and let us get here and do what we need to do. No, look, large truck fires, they aren't that common here in the ACT, but we are well prepared, we are well trained, and we are ready to respond when they do happen.